I'm Michael Wills, I'm a minister here in the Ministry of Justice, and I'll be taking part on the 28th of February because I hope that the Convention on Modern Liberty will be addressing one of the most profound and difficult issues that we face. I believe that in healthy societies, power is diffused as widely as possible. It flows freely, but inevitably, power always tends to cluster around the already powerful. It clusters chemically around them. And to reverse that law of nature requires vigorous and rigorous activity by government and by everyone who government serves. Now, government must always be scrutinised, it must always be held to account, and how best we do that remains and must remain at the heart of our politics. But there is another profoundly important question that I hope that the Convention on Modern Liberty will be addressing on the 28th of February. It's where liberty should find its proper place in our politics. Liberty is the founding value of this country. The history of the struggle for the realisation of individual liberty is really the history of our country. But it isn't the only precious objective that we pursue. If liberty is the founding value, then security is the first duty of any government towards the people that it serves. And how you balance the often conflicting imperatives of liberty and security is profoundly difficult and profoundly important. The liberty that has represented the best of our history has never been a crude egalitarianism. Remove the power of government and you remove its power to protect and help the most vulnerable and the weakest members of our society. And the power of government is what can enable and help all of us to achieve the most elemental of human aspirations, which is to live our lives fulfilled, peacefully, freely, free of the arbitrary interference and control of others, insofar as that is practical and consistent with the ability of others to do the same. Now, achieving all these different objectives together is not necessarily very easy. The data sharing, for example, by public bodies, which some see as an unacceptable intrusion into privacy, which some see as an unacceptable extension of state power over the individual, that data sharing can also help every child who's entitled to free school meals to actually get those free school meals. And at the moment, there are thousands who don't. Thousands of the most vulnerable children in our society. That data sharing can also help everybody who's entitled to vote to be able to vote because they are registered to do so. The vote, the most precious instrument of individual power that the citizen possesses. And yet, too many, 3 million or so, aren't able to vote, although they're entitled to do so because they're simply not registered to vote. And this data sharing can also help prevent terrible crimes. So should we turn our back on all these potential goods that data sharing can bring us simply because of the potential mischief that might accompany it? Or should we try to find a way to realise all the possible benefits and avoid all the possible dangers? Now, reconciling all these different goods is never easy, and I think we should all be very wary of anyone, on whatever side of the political debate they are. We should be wary of anyone who promises easy answers and easy solutions, because I don't believe they exist. What I do believe, fundamentally, is that civilised societies resolve this through democratic debate and dialogue. That is the only way, that is by far the best way that we address and tackle and resolve these questions. And that is why I think the Convention on Modern Liberty could be so very important on the 28th of February. Decent, civilised societies should never remain silent in any forum on such fundamentally important issues.